Good evening, I'm Grace Brister. Alabama softball wrapped up the Clearwater Invitational this afternoon as they faced Florida State, and up until the bottom of the fourth inning, there was no run scored, but Alabama decided to change that. Freshman Kinley Cahalan up to bat for the Tide, and she launches one over the center field fence for her second home run of the season. It's still the bottom of the fourth, and Bailey Dowling slings one over the left field fence. That's 2 home runs in 1 inning for Alabama. And here she's about to come into home. There she goes. And Florida State fought back. Johnny Kerr sent one over the left field fence for the Seminoles' only run of the game. The Tide takes this one 2-1, and they will face Samford on Wednesday night at Rhodes Stadium. Alabama baseball faced Richmond again today to wrap up the weekend series. Drew Williamson up to bat, and he sends one over the fence. You can see Richmond's right fielder climb the fence in an attempt to catch the ball, and here's Williamson coming home to complete his first home run of the season. The Tide is keeping Richmond's right fielder busy. Bryce Eblin sends it his way for a single, sending home Williamson and Matt Gassetti to give the Tide 2 more. Alabama goes on to win 14-1 and take the weekend series 3-0. Alabama women's basketball was in Starkville this evening. Hannah Barber shoots it from beyond the arc and gets the 3 for the Tide. Brittany Davis is wide open. She shoots, and it's good. Another 3 for Alabama. Bama's got the ball, but it's taken away by the Bulldogs' Anastasia Hayes. She runs it down the court and lays it in for 2. Sarah Ashley Barker finds Aaliyah Nye in the corner, and she gets it home. The Crimson Tide put up a fight, but the Bulldogs did not back down. Mississippi State takes this one 60-45. Head coach Christy Curry said a lot of the reason the game went the way it did was because of the Bulldogs' defense.
We just allowed them to dictate us and be really physical with us today, and we didn't respond very well. And so we just had a hard day. It was just one of those days, and it's all going to be about our response, and we get another opportunity to do that again on Thursday.
Alabama men's basketball closed out the Georgia Bulldogs 108-59 last night in Coleman Coliseum. The Tide becomes the first team since the 1955-56 Kentucky Wildcats to win 3 SEC games by over 40 points. Earlier, they shut out LSU by 40 and Vanderbilt by 57. Alabama has just 2 more games at home against Arkansas and Auburn. Winning those would mean the Tide would have a perfect season inside Coleman Coliseum. Head coach Nate Oates spoke of what an accomplishment it was to beat 3 SEC teams by over 40 points for the first time in around 67 years.
I think when you pair together defensive group with some offensive firepower, you've got those games where you kind of go on fire and blow a team out. We've told our group from day one, us making shots should only determine the margin of victory, not whether we win or lose. Like, our defense needs to be good enough to carry us even when we're not making shots. And I feel like, for the most part, it has.
It's NBA All-Star Weekend. The Pelicans' Herb Jones spent his break back in Alabama to watch the Crimson Tide play. What's better than 1 Alabama legend? 2 Alabama legends. Sitting near him was football head coach Nick Saban to show his support. The crowd even gave Jones a standing ovation. The 65th Daytona 500 was today at Daytona International Speedway. Here is, you can see the planes flying over. Here you see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Joey Logano neck and neck, but official word called Stenhouse the winner in double overtime on the final lap. This was his first Daytona 500 victory and his 12th try. It was also Stenhouse's biggest win of his NASCAR Cup Series career and his first win in over 5 years. And the Genesis Invitational wrapped up today. Tiger Woods finished his first tournament of the year tied for 45th, 1 under par. However, Jon Rahm took home the trophy as he shot 17 under par for the tournament. Right now for this year, Rahm is ranked #1 on the world leaderboard. And former Alabama golfer Lee Hodges finished tied for 18th and went 6 under. Justin Thomas shot 5 under for the tournament and finished tied for 20th. Trey Mullinax finished 4 over and tied for 62nd. And that's going to do it for us tonight in sports. But stick around. WVUA 23 News at 10 will be right back.